Come gather round the campfire and hear our ghostly tales of chilling terrors, darkest woes, and anything that goes bump in the night. So cuddle up with your best friend or dare it alone. The darkness is closing in and spirits are calling your name. This is Fireside Phantoms. Hi, everyone.
Hi, we're back, guys.
We're back, and it just has
Hi.
been, we missed you all,
We really did.
and we have been putting together some fabulous ideas for this season.
Yes, and we're so excited to be back and to get back at it and recording and telling you all of our fun stories and the other things we have in store for you.
That's right. So, without further ado, Holly,
Yes, Carol.
what wonderful story do you have for us today?
Well, I actually did a kind of a fun story. This first one, I can't remember now. I was looking for something to do, and I just stumbled across this, and I thought of you immediately because I'm doing haunted high schools,
Oh, cool.
and the first one I did is dedicated to you, and I'll explain to you why.
Wow, I'm so honored.
Yes.
I'm excited. Okay.
So the first high school that I'm doing that is clearly very haunted is Stadium High School in Tacoma, Washington.
Yay. Shout out for Tacoma.
I know. Yay. So the reason I picked this high school isn't just because it's haunted. It's because it looks just like the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry from your favorite film, Harry Potter.
No, I've got to see this.
You've got to see it. It's amazing. Have you ever seen the movie 10 Things I Hate About You?
Yes.
It's that high school.
Oh, great.
You know how it's got,
Yeah.
it's huge. It's got those big turrets
Right.
and it's all, so that's the high school that it is actually a functioning high
It's
school.
a beautiful high school.
It's an incredibly beautiful high school and it's right there on the Sound. I mean, it's gorgeous. So we're going to talk about that school first.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's
Wonderful.
pretty great. As you know, 10 Things I Hate About You, starring Heath Ledger, Julia Stiles, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, that came out in 1999. They shot that film at Stanford High School in Tacoma, Washington. I think in the movie it takes place in Seattle, but it's just down the street in Tacoma. So the construction for that building started in 1891 with the promise of becoming a French chateau luxury hotel that overlooked Commencement Bay and Old Woman's Gulch.
Interesting.
That's what that area was called, was Old Woman's Gulch.
Was there like an old woman that owned all the land?
We will talk about that.
Ah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. The plan was for the hotel to be the grandest hotel in the Pacific Northwest. However, the Panic of 1893, which was just a garden variety severe economic depression, stopped the money flowing into the hotel and construction was brought to a halt. The building then became a really beautiful Gothic lumber warehouse until 1896, when a fire swept through the building and severely damaged its guts. The Tacoma School District bought it up in 1904, and I'm sure it was at a steal of a price, and hired a guy named Frederick Heath. Perhaps he was Heath Ledger in an earlier life.
Yeah,
I don't know.
coincidence.
He was going to be the lead architect on the renovation of the building into a high school. The school opened in 1906 and was named Tacoma High School. A few years later, Heath also designed the 32,000-seat football stadium just below the school in the location that had been known as Old Woman's Gulch. They named it Stadium Bowl, and I guess because they really loved football so much, they changed the name of the high school to match the name of the football field.
Oh, that
So-
sounds about right.
Right? So Tacoma High School became Stadium High School. Clearly, football has a lot of power in Tacoma.
Yeah, and there was that famous scene in the movie where she's
Where he's
being
singing,
serenaded
Yes, yeah. That's-
on the stadium.
That is Stadium.
stairs.
That is Stadium Bowl. Yes. The northeast end of the stadium just opens up directly into the bay. In fact, ESPN once rated it one of the best high school football stadiums in the United States. And many famous people came there to speak, such as Theodore Roosevelt, Woodrow Wilson,
Ooh.
William Jennings Bryan, and so on. So, why is Stadium High School haunted, you ask?
Yeah. It sounds like a lovely school. What caused it to be haunted?
So, well, it is said that Old Woman's Gulch, where Stadium Bowl was built, used to be the place where sea widows lived.
Oh.
What's a sea widow, you ask?
No, I know what a sea widow is.
Okay.
But yes, what is a sea widow?
For those of you who don't know what a sea widow is, thanks for asking, Carol. Sea widows are
no relation to black widows.
Sea widows are women whose husbands were lost at sea. They used to live in these little shacks along the shoreline at Old Woman's Gulch, peering sadly at the water, awaiting their husband's return. But eventually, when they had waited long enough, they would throw themselves into the bay.
I was waiting for you to say they just said, time's over, time to get a new hubby.
You would think, but no. Apparently, they were like just sitting in these little shacks, staring at the water. I mean, this is how I picture it. They're just sitting there at their window, just staring. When is George coming back? When is George coming back? And then finally they say, fuck it. And they just jump out the window and they're dead.
Or I wonder if they just get like hypnotized by the water and it's like that magnetic pull that eventually over time just drags them into
maybe
the
there's
ocean.
a sea ghost that tantalizes them into the water.
It's like instead of female sirens, they're male sirens.
Oh, interesting idea.
And they see their husband as a male siren in the ocean beckoning them.
Yes.
Come with me
Harriet,
into the sea.
Harriet, come with me. It's great in the water. Harriet.
Come and see me down below.
That would be awesome. If you could sing like you do, that would be so cool.
No. Cut that. Cut that.
Definitely keep it. Okay. It is said that one of these widows still haunts the high school and Stadium Bowl. Witnesses have seen a woman dressed in black perched along the shoreline of Old Woman's Gulch, probably just at the northeast end of the football field. They then see her jump off the cliff and disappear. The school is also said to have...
Does she have a football in her arm when she jumps off?
Yeah, girl. That would be really funny. I don't think anyone has said that she has a football, but I think it'd be pretty sweet if she did.
Yeah.
And like some of that black tar stuff they put under their eyes.
That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome. The school is also said to have an elaborate subterranean tunnel system beneath it. So clearly it is haunted because, as we all know, that's where ghosts like to hang out.
Anywhere with tunnels, super haunted.
So haunted. And just another fun little side note, in 2006, Stadium High School held a class reunion and was able to gather 3,299 alumni, making it the Guinness World Record holder for the largest school reunion.
That is a party.
Yeah, guys. Woo! So people are like, yeah, this was my high school and it's super awesome and it's been featured in all these films, and I went back and made it into the Guinness Book of World Records because we're that big of a badass. So my next one is St. Charles East High School in St. Charles, Illinois. Hi, everybody in Illinois, in the Midwest. Hello. So your haunted high school is in St. Charles, and according to legend, a female flute player was attacked, raped, and murdered by the school janitor.
That's not...
Wait before you start cheering and let me finish my sentence.
Yeah, that's awful, Holly.
He then promptly cut her body up into smaller chunks and placed her remains into the other students' lockers.
Holly, did you just try and find the most?
No! All I did was Google haunted high schools and this one came up. Then I'm like, sweet, putting that down. According to band students, they will sometimes open their lockers to find a bloody body part laying inside.
Oh my God.
After a few seconds, the body part disappears. Some have also said they can hear a flute playing when they are alone, or the students' flutes will also disappear. So she's still, I don't think this is even remotely a true story. That's why I'm laughing.
Don't say that.
Well, I mean, I doubt that
so
happened.
if they come to band and they forgot their flute, they get a free pass because it was the ghost
obviously
took it.
The ghost girl got it.
Yeah.
And she deserves a flute because of the way she had to die.
I would use that also as my excuse if I played a wrong note. I'd be like, it wasn't me. It was the ghost girl.
It was the ghost girl.
You must have been hearing a different flute.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So our next one is
well, that's it for about high school.
Yeah.
Wow, Illinois.
You know what? You guys,
sorry.
No, it wasn't easy to find a lot of haunted high schools. I really just wanted to do Stadium High School.
Well, at least you're honest.
So Santa Maria High School in Santa Maria, California. So Santa Maria is just north of Santa Barbara. I didn't know that. I had to look it up. There's a lot of Santa towns in California, so you just never know where they are. This is a sad story of a young girl named Jeanette that was starring in the play Romeo and Juliet back in the 1920s. Jeanette had always received smaller roles in the school's plays, but when Romeo and Juliet was announced, she was bound and determined to win the lead role of Juliet. She practiced and practiced until finally she auditioned and she won the part.
Good job. That's inspirational.
Yeah, it's great. Great job, Jeanette. The night of the play, Jeanette was very excited. She jumped on her bicycle to ride down to the Ethel Pope Auditorium for her big night. She arrived just in time, put on her costume, and performed her heart out. After the play, Jeanette's classmates and co-stars looked everywhere for her, but to no avail, they could not find her. The next day, the drama teacher received a call from Jeanette's mother apologizing for Jeanette's absence at the play the night before. You see, Jeanette had been hit and killed by a car on her way to the auditorium.
What? What?
Yeah.
That was not her? It was her
It was
ghost?
her. It was her, just not her physical form. She was going to make it to that play, Carol, and she fucking did. Yeah. Yeah. Take that, death.
What about the part where she has to commit suicide at the end?
I don't know.
Did she know at that point she was actually
She was like,
already
this is going to be
dead?
easy. I already know how to do this part. Yeah.
And
yeah.
I wonder if Romeo felt she was pretty cold.
I mean, I would
cold-hearted.
assume that they would have had to kiss during the play.
They absolutely do in the
So
play.
did he kiss a phantom or did he kiss a real person? Like, we don't know. To this day, the Ethel Pope Auditorium at Santa Maria High School is haunted by Jeanette. She is seen by students and teachers alike in the rafters, in the attic, but of course, on the catwalks in the auditorium and the basement and dressing room. She doesn't really interact with people too much. She seems content to watch the rehearsals from the balcony. She will sometimes tug on the students' hair or walk beside them. Many students have caught quote-unquote photos of Jeanette on their phones, but they do not say what these photos are of. So I don't know. They say that they've caught photos of her, but maybe it's like an orb or something. I don't know.
So they can't really tell for sure.
Yeah, they didn't really go into great detail about that part. So anyway, that is the haunting of the Santa Maria High School in Santa Maria, California.
That was a good one.
This is the Deer Park Christian Brothers School in Cork, Ireland.
Oh, so you're going across the ocean.
For this one I did just because the video footage is pretty cool. In October of 2017, an Irish high school named Deer Park Christian Brothers School released a surveillance video of the school at night showing lockers flying open, chairs moving around,
Whoa.
bags being thrown, but no one is there to throw it. The school claims the video is legit, and it quickly went viral.
Sounds like a freshman to me.
Yeah, it was covered by the Today Show and the New York Post. They eventually came out and said the school is built at an area called Green Gallows, which is where they used to hang criminals. So perhaps that would explain the haunting. However, the website Snopes, which is a debunker website, took a look at the videos and did a pretty good job at debunking the ghostly footage. They were able to pick out how surveillance camera angles did not line up with the shots they produced and how certain objects would fall out of frame and then reappear a second later, which would indicate someone is cleverly editing the footage together to make it look like poltergeist activity is taking place.
Well, Snopes, you're no fun.
No fun. And finally, Snopes also like to point out that the school's annual event, Fear Park, was just a few weeks away, and the school used a shot in the ghost footage to advertise the event.
What?
So this one is probably a no-go. But, Carol, I want you to watch it anyway because it's pretty. When I watched it, I'm like, well, that's pretty intense.
So we got some future
yeah,
filmmakers out of this high school.
Turn this around for you to see it here. So, take a look at this.
Are these their lockers?
Yeah.
They're like square.
They're like really square.
I could maybe fit one pom-pom in there, and that's it.
Look for the ghost.
No books, for sure.
Is the door open?
Yeah. I see the door opening. Ooh, another door opening. And supposedly nobody's there.
That's what they say.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Right?
Okay, that, I don't know how you could fake that.
I know. I don't either. They think there's like some kind of string pulling it or something. I don't know.
No way.
I don't know. My next high school is a legit haunted high school. It's Pocatello High School in Pocatello, Idaho. And it is actually haunted. People have seen spirits, heard whispers, and paranormal investigators have traced at least 6 deaths to the property.
Whoa.
And in this clip, Carol, is a video capture of a ghost walking down the hallway as he flickers the lights off and on. This is considered to be legitimate ghost footage. So here's the high school. There's the lights flickering off and on.
Right.
And then there's a ghostly figure
Whoa.
walking down the hallway. See?
That's spooky.
It's spooky.
Spooky.
That's the outside of the high school.
And nobody's debunked this.
No, they think it's legit, and they've had a lot of haunting activity in the high school.
What are some of the activities?
So, Carol, I'm glad you asked.
I'm good like that.
You are. The high school is rumored to have a dead librarian ghost that haunts the upstairs library.
Good.
Apparently,
No, I'm kidding.
apparently, she was distraught when her fiance broke up with her and hung herself from the library chandelier. She peers down at people from the library windows. So if you're ever walking by the high school and you look up and you see some angry dead woman staring back down at you, that's the librarian.
Does she always say, shh?
They have decades worth of people that claim to have seen her. There is yet another story of 2 young girls that made a suicide pact. They decided to hang themselves in their lockers. I'm not quite sure how you do that, but
That's some gigantic lockers.
That's the story. One girl did not go through with it, but the other one did. The locker where the girl had hung herself was supposedly haunted for years. It would rattle and shake. Books and papers would fly out of it. Finally, the school removed the whole row of lockers and turned the area where the locker was into a janitor's closet. But apparently, Carol, the ghost just moved to the women's bathroom next door, just like in
Harry Potter
That's
and Moaning
correct.
Myrtle.
Moaning Myrtle was in their high school hunting the girls' bathroom. She flickers lights, she flushes toilets, and she fills the bathroom with her perfume when she is present. I got most of this information from a news clip that featured a ghost hunter named John Bryan, who has written a ghost storybook called Ghosts of Pocatello. If you want to find out more information, he has a book.
Nice.
Yeah. So my last story on haunted high schools, Carol, are you ready? Because this is the best one for
I
sure.
am totally ready.
It's really good. Okay, this one is El Paso High School in El Paso, Texas. And if you're listening from El Paso, you know exactly why you're on here. Do you know this story?
No, I don't. But I do know this story.
Do you know this story?
Okay, keep telling. I
Okay.
won't.
This one's a good one because it's pretty creepy. The school itself is said to have had a lot of paranormal activity floating around its halls. People have seen mist, goo, and found hidden classrooms deep under the building.
What? Goo.
Goo. Like in Ghostbusters, like slime, I guess. I don't know. Apparently, alumni and faculty...
Well, it is a high school, so unquestionable substances like that really...
comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Apparently, alumni and faculty have heard pep rallies and basketball games happening in the middle of the night. Why they'd be there in the middle of the night, I have no idea. But when they go to the auditorium, there is no one there, and it's all quiet. However, the thing that really makes this school creepy is a class photo that was taken in 1985. Do you know this story?
I do not know this
Good.
story.
Awesome. So in this picture, you can see everybody quite clearly smiling for the camera, except for one girl. Near the front, you can see a girl dressed in white with long brown hair, except you can't see her that well because she seems to be blurred while everybody else is crystal clear.
No, I don't like where this is going.
She appears 2-dimensional while everyone else is 3-dimensional. There is also a beam of light flowing down through the crowd towards her. So the people in the photo say that this girl was not present when the photo was taken, and no one has a clue who she is.
And the person who she's blocking is probably like...
The people around her have got to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really creepy. Nobody recognizes her as a classmate. They have no idea where she came from. So this girl is not on the photo negative, and the photo was taken years before Photoshop was even a thing. This photo is such a puzzle that the faculty keeps it in the high school trophy case.
Wow. So they can see it every day as they go to classes.
As a legit ghost photo. And this is the picture.
I love this high school. How cool is that? Yes.
Now look at everyone around
Super
her.
creepy.
And then look at her.
Oh my gosh. And she just has that look about her that she just wants to like reach out and strangle you.
You can't really tell what her face looks like. Everybody else, you can see what their face looks like, but she just looks like she floated in and sat down for the photo.
It does. She must have just really wanted to be part of the class.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that, I mean, it gives me chills.
It's
great.
It's
That's a really creepy
great
photo.
story,
Yeah.
Holly.
Yeah, that one was my favorite, so I wanted to end on that one.
It's amazing that you chose that story to end on because my story's on creepy photos.
Oh, perfect!
I
know.
So, Holly, I've heard so many stories from people and read incidents where scary photos are appearing on people's cameras and phones.
Interesting.
And yet they have no recollection of taking the pictures. And they also say, like what you had in this incident, where when they take the picture, the person was not there when they took the picture.
Right.
So, and it seems to be happening more often with the age of the cell phone.
Right. I imagine we'll get a lot more ghost photography with that.
Yeah, and I think there's two reasons for that. I think electrical devices are easier to manipulate if you're a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps because there's more photos in general taken nowadays with people that they're able to capture more.
Right.
One person posted online at BuzzFeed.com that when they woke up in the morning, they found their phone lying on the floor and wondered how a strange photo was taken, showing a greenish light with a large black shadowy figure.
Oh, wow.
There are even more ominous stories saying that on one occasion, a guy found an image taken at night and a UFO-looking object was in the background.
Ooh.
When the guy tried to lighten up the image, there was a man standing alone also in the field in front of the glowing spacecraft.
Huh.
But it wasn't him. Some say these mysterious photos happen when someone hacks or has access to your iCloud account. But others might be someone taking your camera or phone and then putting it back. One of the most disturbing stories I heard was of a YouTube site called Mr. Sleepy People, which first appeared in 2011 showing anonymous films and pictures of random girls sleeping at night. The cameraman is filming only his fingers opening up their sleeping eyes to peek at them.
What?
Yeah, and the scary thing is he never wakes up any of these people on accident, and over time, it's gotten worse, way worse. Now the camera guy licks their eyeballs while filming it.
They're not waking up when somebody is
No.
doing it. Come on.
Imagine if you saw yourself in one of these films or images on your phone or online.
I would freak out.
I really think that's scarier than any ghosts appearing on your photos.
So you think these girls just drank a lot and just passed out?
That's what some of his commentary says.
Yeah, that would
like
be my
he'll
guess.
say, you're not hearing his voice, but he's saying and typing that this person's really drunk.
Or they're roofied.
Which makes me think it's like at a frat house,
Yeah.
or something,
Yeah.
or he's got access to a lot of girls that are sleeping over or something, like it's his roommate. And YouTuber Nick Crowley, I've mentioned him a couple of times. He's one of my favorites because he always finds just the best stories online. He has, if you want to look into this deeper, he has several videos on this sleepy creep. So if you want some great nightmares, we'll leave you the link to his stuff in the credits.
Great.
Now, the only mysterious photos that show up on my phones are the ones of my feet and random ground or sky when I thought my phone was turned off.
Right.
That happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
But I know, Holly, you recently took a picture and noticed something.
Right. That's
Tell me
right.
about your
Yes, I
experience.
did. So a couple months ago, I was in Texas to visit my friends in Austin.
You gonna give him a shout out?
Yeah. Hi, Stephanie, Christopher, Lauren, and Lillian. Hello, Joy family.
Hello.
Hello. So Stephanie and I were best friends in college, and I've gone to Texas a bunch of times to visit her. And anyway, they invited me to come down to celebrate Halloween. And so I went down there and we got booked on a ghost tour through San Antonio.
Ooh, fun.
Yes. And one of the stops that we went to was a I think it was called the Spanish governor's house or something Spanish governor. I don't remember. It was by the tour company is the Sisters Grimm. So if any of you have any interest, definitely do it. It's a great tour. So anyway, we went to this one spot and the tour guide was showing us, we couldn't go into the building. It was night. And he was like, this is where a lot of people were hung. This woman was murdered in this building. Her child was kidnapped. Take pictures through the windows. Sometimes people get stuff. So I did. I took photos and I saw something kind of weird on one of the photos and I blew it up. Did I show you that photo?
You did.
Yeah. And it looks like it's weird. It almost looks like the image from the Scream painting, but it is in the upper corner of the doorway and it looks like a ghost.
It's a face.
Yeah, it's a face. And I showed it to the tour guide and he was like, yeah, I think maybe you got something.
I think it actually looks like a dog. But
It does look like a dog.
We're gonna post it and see what people think.
Yes, we will. The first time I looked at it, I saw a dog, but then after I looked at it, it's like when you change your perspective or your perception.
Yeah.
It looks like a ghost face to me now, and I can't see the dog anymore. But some people are like, "That looks like a husky." I'm like, "It does. It kind of does look like a
They
husky."
actually know the breed in the picture. Yeah. That is so freaky.
Yeah.
That would be so exciting to actually see a photo that you took
I
and
know.
see a ghost.
Well,
Everybody wants to have proof of a ghost.
I know. Did I text it to you?
You didn't text it to me.
I'll text it to you so you can throw it up on our Instagram. And then
Perfect.
people can decide for themselves if they think it's a ghost. I'll see if I can blow it up because you kind of have to blow it up to see it. But once you blow it up, you can definitely see there's something up there.
I think everybody's trying to prove ghosts are real through film or through photography because in the moment, very rarely are you with a group of people that can all confirm it at the same time.
Right.
Sometimes that happens, but we want it actually to be evidence that we can feel with our hands, touch and look. And I think one of the most paranormal things to be claimed is the study of photography.
Photography?
Photography.
Thought?
Well, let me pronounce it. Photography.
Like F-A?
No. Thought.
Thought.
Like a thought.
Like thought.
Thoughtography.
Thoughtography.
Let's say it together, shall we? Thoughtography. Yeah, it's kind of a strange name for it, but it makes sense.
Let's do that game they used to play on Sesame Street where you say the first part of the word and I say the second part of the word.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Thought.
Photography.
No, it's not. Except for it's I say thought, you say tography.
Photography. Okay. Go ahead.
Thought.
Photography.
Thoughtography.
Photography.
That's right. It's a conjunction. So this study of photography experiments were of people who would hold cameras up to their head and try to project a physical image onto the film. And later, after developing those photos of their thoughts, they would somehow appear.
Right.
And this term was first introduced at the beginning of the 20th century by Tomokichi Fukari. He was an assistant professor of psychology at Tokyo University, and he began doing experiments which were later mostly called into question as being manipulated images from the development of the film. So this was, back when they actually developed the film from cameras. And like most psychics of the spiritualist movement, a lot of these claims have been proven fake. But you're going to like this. I think X-Files actually had an episode devoted to this topic.
I think they did too. I do. I remember that.
Yeah. So one of the most popular stories is of a Chicago bellhop named Ted Sirios, who claimed he could do this thought imaging using Polaroid film. While holding a little rubber tube to his forehead, he could burn a thought image onto a photograph as it was developing. And there was even a book published by Jewel Eisenbud called Thoughtographic Studies of an Extraordinary Mind. And I like that in the book, he claimed the bellhop Ted could only achieve this paranormal image transference when he was super drunk. But, over the years, of course, there have been people who also have said the images were tampered with. But this case is a bit harder to prove because he would do it live. And these collections of photographs have now been digitalized and stored at the University of Maryland. Now, you can probably find these photos and see what you think. And I like to think it might be real because it would be very hard to cheat when the photos are being created instantly with a Polaroid picture.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey, So Ted said he never thought of a specific image, but just tried to keep his mind a blank slate and open himself up to be used as a portal or a medium where this information of images were just sent through his brain and then focused through the rubber doodad onto the film. Of course, these images, when you look at them, are blurry and only in black and white. Some were even all black or all white images, so it's kind of hard to specifically see what they were. But some are of buildings. You can also see that the images in the book, they also, in that, tried to experiment with movie film. And word has it, there's also a 16 millimeter short film with his successful thought images projected.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
In 1967, two photographers who also did stage magic said they had a theory how these pictures were made. They placed a tiny picture in a glass prism against the camera lens and succeeded making an image appear on the photograph. But, as you know, Holly, glass has different properties than rubber. And glass obviously reflects light.
Right.
So nobody ever could prove there was fakery involved. And I like that because I would like to believe it is possible.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Some energy healers have been known to attract orbs as they're doing their energy work.
Mm-hmm.
However, nobody sees these orbs in pictures taken in the area before the healing, only until in the pictures that have been developed or looked at after the healing work has been performed.
No, really?
So that is also very curious to me.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Now, you want to hear some really bizarre stuff?
Yeah, I do.
Because all that other stuff wasn't bizarre enough. There was an Indian mystic called Satya Sai Baba. It was said someone approached him once and the guru touched their camera, and when the person looked through their pictures, the final shot taken on the roll appeared to have an image of Jesus.
Whoa.
Just as he appeared in the Shroud of Turin.
Really?
Isn't that absolutely amazing?
That is amazing. Wow.
You know, I believe that one because, you know, Jesus shows up all the time on my pancakes and my toast.
And your toast. Yeah.
He's everywhere.
And is it always in the same like pose where he's giving you the hand loose sign?
He's giving you what?
You know, the hand loose sign.
Does he do that?
Yeah, I think so. Doesn't
Oh,
he? It
no.
just means hand loose, stay cool, Hawaii.
Oh, no, I didn't know he did that.
I think he's Hawaiian, right?
There was a Siddha yogi called Ramalinga Swami, and rumor has it that he didn't like his picture taken and was very camera shy. Well, I understand that.
Yeah. I don't like having my photo taken either.
Every time people would try to take a photograph of him, he would never appear in it.
Really?
Woo! Not once. And they even tried super close-up shots and even hired a professional photographer
Wow.
to try and capture his image, but no luck.
That's some voodoo magic right there.
Yeah. The only thing the camera would pick up after they saw the film was a white robe that he wore. That's it.
Like just a disembodied white robe
Yeah.
floating around?
Yeah.
What?
Maybe he wasn't human. Maybe he was a ghost the whole time,
Maybe.
practicing his yoginess.
Maybe he performed in a play called Romeo and Juliet, and then no one realized he was just a ghost the whole time.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I didn't know monks, did plays, but
Well,
could be.
I'm sure they gotta do something other than just laying
Meditate.
meditation all the time.
Apparently, they're ghosts traveling around. But why do you think ghosts try to appear to us in this way?
I don't know.
Maybe they are trying to come through just like they have done through objects or people, and they need attention to prove there is life after death or send a message. And maybe like electronic devices or these these machines and artificial intelligence may be the new mediums of our age and the future. So cameras are like mirrors, portals to the paranormal for them to come through.
Just trying to communicate.
I like that theory.
Yeah. They're just trying to get messages to us. Because I think it's very difficult between the two planes for there to be.
There are.
Yeah.
And for our listeners out there, there's a couple of really good sites that have gone through and just collected tons of ghost pictures.
Cool.
So I'm going to leave those links for you as well
Right on.
in there to go visit those sites, because these captured ghosts, whatever they're claiming they've got on camera, is very spooky and convincing. So I know there's a lot of trickery going on out there,
Yeah,
but some of
yeah.
it you just can't explain away.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I think it's better when you look at photos from the past before they had the ability to manipulate photos.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are really cool because that way no one's doctored it.
Photos from the past?
Like people when they first old time photos.
I think they can doctor that.
Can they doctor
They
them?
can doctor. Actually, those are actually easier to doctor because you can doctor them up in the development of the film itself.
Oh, you can?
As you're developing, there's
Oh.
things you can do. You can do double exposures.
Oh.
I know all of this stuff.
Apparently, I'm wrong then.
I learned a
thought-
lot from
okay.
researching this, but
Yeah.
it's actually our cell phones are less able to manipulate photos. It's only like with other applications, like
Right.
changing maybe
Your hair, your makeup.
like
Clothes.
through like applications that change
Sure.
things in there. Or
Yeah.
you can add Photoshop images on things.
Right.
So there's that way, but those are very easy to tell
Yeah.
if they've been faked.
Yeah.
They can tell that. So
Huh.
yeah.
Wow. Cool. Well, good job.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
So next week, we've got something special. We're trying to do a different format every other week where we're going to be discussing the top paranormal and weird news
Yes.
that's currently being talked about. And we're going to discuss that at length and just have more of instead of an actual story, we're going to be talking about these different things that are recent paranormal events.
Right.
Or just weirdness
Yeah.
in general.
Trying to just sort of stay with more modern
More current
topics.
things.
Yeah. But also, we'll go back to our normal format every other week.
Every other
and then
week.
do the modern subjects the other weeks. So we'll still be doing the same show. We're just gonna change it up a little bit and try that and see what you guys think.
Sounds great.
Cool. Thanks, you guys. Can't wait to see you next week.
Stay spooky.
So this guy Frederick Heath was the lead. Or I'm going to say this again because I didn't like the way.
And I've got to clear my throat. Somehow
Okay.
we just had pie, people, and
We had really good pie.
and it came from Sherry's.
If you live near a Sherry's, if you live in the Pacific Northwest, you know what we're talking about. But I don't know if Sherry's is national. Are they?
I don't know.
If you live near a Sherry's, just go down there and get yourself some pie. It's really good.
Especially the Marionberry cheesecake pie.
Yeah, so good. Okay.
Anyway, okay.
let's
Let's talk about.
We're getting sidetracked. The audience gave her a standing ovation for her efforts.
Yay.
Good word choice.
So,
Really expanded your vocabulary.
as the flames die down, do remain undaunted.
Though all hitchhikers are ghosts,
And all dolls are definitely haunted.
hey guys, be sure to follow us on Instagram. Our handle is @FiresidePhantoms. If you have a spooky story you would like to share with us, send it to firesidephantoms@gmail.com and you may hear it on a future episode.